Hello guys, today we'll be talking about market structure, which is a very vital part of your analysis. Yes, market structure is a very vital part of your analysis. So basically, we understand that price moves in pattern. Price moves in swing pattern. Yes, price moves in swing pattern. So when one's price is falling to the downside, price does not just fall. Price falls for a while and then buys a little bit. It buys just so it can gain enough momentum to fall much further to the downside, and then it will do some buying again and then back to the downside. Yeah, that is what price will keep doing till it gets to an overall turning point in the market or a change in the trend of the market. Yes, price moves in swing, up, down, up, down, up, down. So you see price drops for a while and then back to the upside a little bit. And then price falls to the downside. Then price comes back up just so we can gather enough momentum to fall much further to the downside, because from this you can see this is predominantly a downtrend. So the overall movement is price is headed for the downside, but it does not just fall, and it moves in swing pattern, up down, and that is what price will keep doing till it gets to a point where the trend of the market will then change. So yes, this is price for you. It moves in swing. And then let me quickly mention, because by now we introduced the concepts in our other classes, that when once a resistance is broken, it becomes a support, and when once a support is broken, it becomes a resistance. Yes, we introduced that concept, and when you begin to go through your charts thoroughly and you start doing thorough analysis, you will see for yourself that this is very correct. So resistance broken, turns support. Resistance broken, turns support. Likewise, support broken turns resistance. Yes, support broken turns resistance. Support broken turns resistance. Yes, so let me use this same swing movement of price to illustrate something here. So we could see vividly that price came all the way to the downside, and price found what? Price found support here. Yes, price was falling right from this point. So price was falling right from this point, and price got to this point. Price found support and then started coming back to the upside, and then again backwards, back to the downside. Yes, so price back to the downside. Take note, price breaks through this previous support. Price breaks through the previous support, comes down here, finds another support again there, finds another support here again, price finds another support here, and then because price comes to find the support here, back to the upside, it's only logical and safe to be looking for a selling opportunity around this point, because previous support broken turns into what? A resistance. And you see price comes back here and then what? Back to the downside, defiles, invalidates this previous support. So previous support is broken the second time, so price comes back again to find what? The resistance there. So these are places you want to look out for what? Your selling opportunities. If you understand your trend, if you understand the trend, the overall trend is a downtrend, because we are trend following traders, you want to look out for selling opportunities in line with the downtrend. So this is a clue when to know the best times to enter your trade, the best time to join the trend movement all the way to the downside. So basically this is what price keeps doing. So we are seeing that this is obviously a downtrend. This is a downtrend, yes. So if you've identified, so we have to throw more light on the concept of previous support broken turns resistance and previous resistance broken turns support. But this is previously there was a support here, price breaks through the support, comes back, retests and finds what? A resistance there. That would have been the best time to look out for a sell opportunity. Price breaks through this support, now comes back to find what? There comes back to find a resistance there. So yes, we say the market moves in swing. If price wants to go up and it's an uptrend, price does not just move all the way up. Price moves up for a while, comes back a little bit down to move much further to the upside again. Yes, that's what price will keep doing till it finds an overall turning point in the market, a change in trend. Yes, and basically we say this up and down movement is the impulsive and the retracement moves. The impulsive move and the retracement is simply impulsive. Retracement, you can call that the pullback, yes, because price will not get as far as where it's coming from. Yes, it's a pullback. It's a slight movement back to against the initial movement. It's a slight movement against the initial movement, but not as much as where price was coming from. That's why it's mostly called a pullback or a retracement. Yes, so price keeps moving in that pattern. So we can clearly see price impulsive, retracements, impulsive to the downside, retracement or pullback, impulsive, pullback or retracement, impulsive, and we can clearly see that this is a downtrend. Yes, this is a downtrend. Yes, when we talk about market structure, there's something that characterizes market structure. There's something that helps us identify the structure of the market, not necessarily trend lines, because sometimes the market moves in a choppy patterns where it's very difficult to identify difficult to identify the direction with the use of your trend lines. But now, because you understand the structure of the markets, now the characteristics of this is the market keeps making higher highs and higher lows, lower highs and lower lows. Yes, that's what characterizes the structure of the market. The market will keep making series of higher highs and higher lows, lower highs and lower lows. Yes, because we will be talking about the uptrend as well as the downtrend. We'll be talking about the uptrend as well as the downtrend. For the uptrend, the market will keep making series of higher highs and higher lows. And then for the downtrend, the market will keep making series of lower highs and lower lows. Yes, that is what characterizes the structure of the market. So this is a downtrend. Yes, let's go back to this very same illustration. This is a downtrend, and we can identify the market was here and the market fell, found the support here, back to the upside. So this is a previous high. Market falls down, makes a low at this support, back to the upside, makes a new high, and this high is lower than the previous high. So market makes a new high that is lower than the previous high, and then backwards to the downside, market now makes a new low, and this low is lower than the previous low. So that is your downtrend. That is the structure of this market. The market keep making series of what? This is the high, and this high is lower than the previous high. Yes, we have a new low that is lower than the previous low. We have a new low that is lower than the previous low. Okay, let's so yes, there's a lower high. Market makes a new high that is lower than the previous high. So I'm trying to introduce something here, guys. Please come along with me. Market makes a new high, and this high is lower than what? Than the previous high. Let me take out this trend line. Market makes a new high, and there's a low that is lower than the previous low. And market will keep doing this, guys. Yes, market will keep moving in this swing pattern, making series of lower highs and lower lows, because this is a downtrend. Yes, this is a high, and this high is lower than the previous high. There is a new high, and the new high is lower than the previous high. Lower high. Markets keep making series of lower highs as well as series of lower lows. This is a downtrend. This is the structure of the markets. So in this market, it's safe to be looking out for what? Selling opportunities, because this is a downtrend. It's very safe to be looking out for selling opportunities. Yes. Okay, when we keep going further into this, I will start telling us how to get into, when is the best time to get into these selling opportunities. Yeah. when is the best time to look out for these selling opportunities? But now we're talking about market structure, and in a downtrend, the market will keep making series of lower highs and lower lows, like we have illustrated here now. The market will keep doing this till the trend changes. Yes. So now, how do we know if the trend is about to change? How do we know if the trend is about to change? You will hear me keep using the word invalidate. How do we know if the trend has been invalidated? You hear me keep using the word invalidate. Yes, that's the word. You hear me use the word invalidate. Invalidate, yeah. So, because this is a downtrend, and then I would be expecting the market to be making series of lower highs and lower lows. So I want to keep identifying the most recent lower highs and lower lows. Yes. There's a lower high here. There's a new high that's lower than the previous lower high. There's a new high that's lower than the previous lower high. So this is the most recent lower high. Now, we are still in a downtrend. We're still very much in the downtrend because price is still making series of lower highs and lower lows. So now we're seeing price make a new low that is lower than the previous low. That is a characteristic of the downtrend. But when once now price gets back to the upside, we would have been expecting a pullback. But when once this is the most recent low, this is the most recent high, so we would be expecting, as long as price trades below this high, we are still very much in a downtrend. Yes, as long as price trades below this high. So if price comes back for a retest, a pullback, yes, and as long as price does not come and take out this most recent high, price is still in a downtrend. So price can come, slightly do a pullback, and let me change this to white so you understand what I'm doing. So yes, like I was saying, and then price comes all the way and makes a new low that is lower than the previous low, because price is still trading below the most recent high, the most recent lower high. We are still very much in the downtrend. But when once price comes and takes out this most recent low, yes, when once price comes and now closes above this low, yes, it's safe to say the trend has been invalidated. Yes, because price has broken the most recent low. Then you can now see price do something like this. Price comes back now and makes a new low, and then this new low will most likely be higher than the previous low. So this is a higher low because this is a new low that is higher than the previous low. Yes. Now this trend was invalidated where at the break of the most recent lower high, because we're in a downtrend, and in a downtrend we would have been expecting the market to be respecting series of lower highs and lower lows. Yes. And then price now came, broke and closed above the most recent lower high. So now the downtrend has been invalidated. Now the trend is changing from a downtrend to to an uptrend. And in an uptrend, we would be expecting to see higher highs and higher lows. So you see, price comes, takes out the most recent higher low, makes a new high that is higher than the previous high. So that is a higher high. Now price comes back, makes a low that is higher than the most recent low. So it's a higher low, a new higher low. And then because the downward trend line has been invalidated, price will now keep trading what? And keep making series of what? Higher highs and higher lows. And then instead of looking for what? Selling opportunities, it's high time we start now looking for buying opportunities because the trend has been invalidated. The trend has changed. So price now will keep making series of higher highs and higher lows. Sorry, this is a new high. This high is higher than the previous high, and there is a new low that is higher than the previous low. Price keeps making series of higher highs and higher lows. So yes, I was telling you how to know that a trend line has been invalidated. A trend line has been invalidated. You want to consider the structure of the market. You want to consider the structure of the market. Yes, you want to consider the structure of the market. So this is basically how price will keep moving in swing. Yes, this is basically how price will keep moving. So you should understand the structure of the market, and what characterizes the structure of the market is price repeatedly making series of higher highs and higher lows in an uptrend and lower highs and lower lows in a downtrend. This is I'm trying to make it clearer with this. Once we get back into our candlestick, it will come out much better. But you should understand from what I've introduced here that this is the structure of the market. This is how price will keep moving in swings till there's a change of trend. And now I've showed us how we know that the trend has been invalidated. Okay, come with me. So now we can see price has changed from a downtrend now to what? To an uptrend. We can see price has changed from a downtrend to an uptrend. Yes, so let me tell you how to know once price has invalidated this uptrend, and most likely there is going to be a change in trend or trend has changed. How do I know the trend has changed? Because once you understand the trend, you know what you want to trade, because we are trend following traders. In an uptrend, we want to look out and trade every buy opportunities. Likewise, in the downtrend, we want to look out and trade every sell opportunities. So yeah, this is obviously an uptrend. So because we understand the structure of this market, we understand the price will now go back up from here. Price will find a support from here now to make a new high. And because this is the uptrend, we'll be expecting price to make a high that is higher than the previous high. Because this is an uptrend, we would be expecting price to make a high that is higher than the previous high. So yes, this is the most recent high. Yeah. So as long as price goes up and make a new high that is higher than this, you get me, guys? Yes, we are still very much in an uptrend. But now take note of this. This is the most recent high. And as long as price keeps trading above this point, we are still very much in an uptrend. But once price now comes and makes a high that is not as high as the previous high, then something is happening. Then you see this takes place here, because this is the most recent high, the most recent higher high. We would have been expecting price to come and make a high that's higher than this previous high for price to still respect this trend, the uptrend. But when once price now makes a new high that is not as high as the most recent higher high, something is happening then. It's most likely a change in trend. And when price now comes and takes out, this is the most recent low. This is the most recent higher low. Yeah, that's the most recent higher low. Let's get that's the most recent higher low. Yes, this is the most recent higher low. When once now price comes and make, okay, we see clearly the price comes now and takes out the most recent higher low. This is the most recent higher low. Sorry guys, very sorry about that. Let's see. So when once price now comes and make a new low, that is lower than the most recent higher low, yes, it is safe to say the trend has changed. It is safe to say the structure of the market has changed from an uptrend to a downtrend, yes, because the market will make a new low that is now lower than the previous low. And then the market will now keep trading what? Down, all the way to the downside. So this is the structure of the market. This is what we term market structure. And it's very important you understand this because it helps you identify when the trend has changed. It helps you identify when the trend has changed. Yeah, and once you can identify the change in trend, it's now much easier for you to know what to trade. Because if you understand that the trend has changed from an uptrend to a downtrend, you want to now be looking out for what selling opportunities if you were looking out for buying opportunities before. Once we now start introducing this back into our chart, it will come much better. Okay, let's take for example something that's happening right here. This is AUD monthly time frame. Yes, and we can see that all the way from September 2011 till right about now September 2019, from what we can see clearly in our charts, this is 1st of September 2019, we have been on a downtrend all the way from way back 2012 September. We've been on a downtrend. Okay, yes, so the structure of the market, yes, market structure, we can see market makes a high and then market makes a low, market makes a high that is lower than the previous high. So this is a lower high, this is a high, there's a new high, this is a high, market comes down, makes a low, it pulls back, makes a new high that is lower than the previous high. So now market drops all the way to the downside and then makes a new low right here. Then market comes back upward, it's just a pullback, makes a new high. This high is much lower than what's the previous high, fine. And then we can see clearly the market comes down, makes a new low that is lower than the previous low, and then back to the upside, market makes a new high. Okay, yes, look at something that's happening here. Let's look at something that's happening here, guys. Let's look at something that's happening here. It's very Okay, yeah. So now we can see the market makes a low, makes a new high, a lower high, comes down here, makes a new low that is lower than the previous low, and then back again to where? To make a equal lower high. Market makes an equal lower high. Market makes an equal lower high. Yeah. This shaded part is an equal lower high. So here we can clearly see a double top, equal lower high. And now understand something. We can see that from the structure of the market, we are in a downtrend. Market has been making series of lower highs and lower lows, and then market comes back and makes an equal lower high. So yes, this trend is very much still in a downtrend because the most recent lower high has not yet been broken. So price comes and makes an equal lower high. So yes, we are still very much in a downtrend. The only time that the downtrend is invalidated is when once price now makes a new high that is higher than the most recent lower high. Yes, we can now see the downtrend is changing now to an uptrend. But because market is making an equal lower high, and we've said that this trend will still remain a downtrend as long as price keeps trading below the most recent lower high. But now we are seeing the price is making an equal lower high. So fine, it's safe to say we are still in a downtrend. And clearly, if you understood this, you're seeing here that price now comes back much further all the way to the downside and makes a what? A low that is lower than the previous low. So price is still what? Respecting. Price is still respecting. So now price comes back to make a new lower high. So price comes back now. Please make sure you're following me, guys. Price comes back to make a new lower high. Yeah. Price comes back to make a new lower high. Yeah. So price drops back to the upside, makes a new lower high, makes a new lower low. Yeah. Makes a new lower low. Price makes a new lower low. And then, because this is the most recent lower high, so as long as price keeps trading below this lower high, we are still very much in a downtrend. Let me bring this rectangle down here. So this is the most recent lower high. As long as price keeps trading below this, we are still very much in what? In a downtrend. Price is still very much respecting the characteristics of the downtrend. And now we can see price is making what? A new high, an equal lower high once again. Yeah, a double top. We're seeing a double top, an equal lower high. Okay, there's a first top, there's a first touch, back to the downside. There's another touch, a triple top, and then we can see some things that are playing out right here. So that is understanding the structure of the markets. The market will keep making series of higher highs and higher lows. This is market structure for you.